Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Stacking Perpetrator here. Want to do a follow-up video to my call out to for Fish's call out to me and Potter Stacker for cutting out coins to put in our album collection. You know, gotta break the coins out of these sets so they'll fit in the albums. Potter Stacker, he puts them in the 2x2s and puts them in basic album pages and everything. But Fish called me out on one of my videos for cutting the Ike dollar out of this 3-coin bicentennial 40% silver set, and I cut that coin out so I could finish off the album. The Dansko bicentennial set, which has some of my mom's coins in it. And there seems to be a lot of controversy about cracking out sets, cutting out proof sets, cutting out P&D sets, things like that, because they're like, oh, you got to preserve history and blah 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 blah. And no, if you don't want to cut them out, that's fine. Some of us do cut them out, but I want to show you something. He basically called me out for cutting this one out, but let's get the old book out and go back to, so I'm going to show you some numbers on this. The 76 silver clad 3-piece set right there, which is one that I cut out. They minted almost 4 million, just under 4 million of these. 4 million. Now, my thoughts on this, I'm cutting out, so I'm going to put this in a my thoughts video also, is that there's 4 million of them. These are not going to shoot up in value. Let's go back and look at some of the earlier sets. You got a 1936 set. They only minted just under 4,000. Okay, current value for the set. But also, if you break the coins out, if you have good coins, break them out, get them graded, you will exceed that value there. But then again, there was only under 4,000 sets minted, where, let's go back down to this, where was it? The silver clad 40%, they minted just under 4 million. The other thing to keep in mind with cutting these out, or like this is a 60 proof, I don't have the envelope for this, but let's look up the 60 proof. I want to show you something about that. These are proof and mint sets. Let's go to 1960. There's 2 versions, a small date cent and a large date cent. But look at that. 1960. Small date and large date are included in the mintage totals. 1 million, almost 1.7 million. Almost 1.7 million of these were minted and everything. So let's talk about this for a moment. You've got that high mintage. Everybody knows grading is like everybody wants their coins. A lot of people want their coins in slab, but there are those of us that want our coins raw so we can fill the albums. Over time, because of this right here, not the coin, but because of this piece of plastic and this label up here, these sets, these proof sets, these P&D sets, it's a 63 P&D set. These sets are going to be searched. What are they going to be searched for? They're going to be searched for the high grade coins. They're being searched for the cameos. They're being searched for the deep cameos. Anytime those are found, because of the price of having it in this, those are going to be cut out. Those are going to be, whether they cut just one coin out and sell off the rest or whatever. But if they cut one coin out, the rest of the coins are going to get cut out also. Eventually, somebody will cut them out because they'll buy them on the cheap. But over time, once these all get searched, and granted, there's going to be some that, you know, will always pop up for people to search and everything. But once these are searched, once all of these are searched, once all your P&D sets are searched, and all those high grade cameos, deep cameos, all your well, not out of the proof set, but out of the P&Ds, all your full bell line Franklins, everything, once those are all cut out, there's going to be nothing left. These are going to be, even these, and even some of these, when it comes to the Franklins, anything 55 to 63, once everything has been cut out of those and they've been searched and they're down to just a hand, you know, just so many that are left to be searched. Once all the good coins are pulled out, this is not going to be worth anything. This is not going to have the value like this 36 set has, because it only had under 4,000 mintage. So yeah, if you got the whole set, you're sitting on some money, but guaranteed if you cut them out and get them graded, you're sitting on even more money if the coins are any good. So fish, I know you're dead set on not cutting out, but hanging on to this stuff after it's been searched, you know, there's only so much value this is going to have, because if there's a deep cameo coin sitting in here in any one of these slots, a cameo, a deep cameo, in the case of the P&D sets, anything that's high grade, any one of these coins that turns out to be high grade, turns out to be kind of proof-like, or the Benjis, if they have full bell lines, if people find full bell lines, these are going to get cut out. There's not going to be anything left in these sets over time that's going to be worth any value, because they'll all be cut out and put into plastic like this for collections. So that's why, I mean, look here. I showed this in a video. 56 all the way up to 63 pros. These were all in a set like this at one time, but they were cut out. They were searched, like this 56 that I showed in the video. I was looking to, you know, unfortunately, it's a type 2 and not a type 1. This is one I'm going to crack this out open, and I will probably send this 56, because this 56 looks really good. It's a really nice looking coin. I will probably send that out for grading. But these were all cut out. These were all cut out by people searching. They were searching, but none of these have cameo or deep cameo. None of them do. None of them have that. So these might have been cut out where people found a cameo quarter or a deep cameo Roosevelt, or they found a cameo or deep cameo or high, or any one of these they found in really super high grade, and they cut them out. The rest of it, you know, maybe they cut out a quarter that was really high grade or cameo or deep cameo, and then these were just rounded up, and companies made sets like this with the leftovers that were cut out, and then they sold these off as sets. So when you talk about preserving some of this stuff, you know, this I don't have an envelope for. I bought it Eventually I'll find an empty envelope with the proper date on it that I can put it back in, and I'll keep it like that. You know, this one, the envelope's damaged, but it's still, you know, government package. The P&D part, I have plenty of these. But eventually, you know, once all the good stuff is pulled out of these, the sets that are left over they're just going to be flatline. They're just going to be flatline. Yeah, you're going to have a few collectors that want to put the original package set together, but they're not going to have high grade coins in them. They're not going to have the cameos, the deep cameos. All those are being cut out. They're being cut out and put into this. So fish, we're going to, you know, we need to put some fresh water in that pond you're swimming around in. Because if you want to blame people for really cutting stuff out, blame the people that are putting them in this. This is where all the good coins are going. They're going into plastic like this here. Those good coins are not going into albums. They're going into these. And when all the good coins wind up, all the high grade deep cameos, the Franklins with full bell lines out of these P&D sets, even these sets, it was cheaper. The reason I bought this to cut that Ike out, like I said, was it was cheaper to buy this set than it was to buy the individual coin. The individual coins are always worth more. I cut these out. There's more value. There's more money to be made by cutting these out and selling them individual, because there's people like me that do these album collections and we need these coins. If you notice, I've showed you this book here a couple times. I still got an empty 2012 proof spot. The reason I haven't cracked open a proof set, and I do have the proof set, I just didn't pull it out. I don't remember which storage area I have it at, but let's look up the 2012 proof set. 2012 S 5-piece quarter, presidential silver. Oh, wait a minute. 14-piece. All right, 14-piece set right here. 2012 S 14-piece set. They only minted 794,000. It was a lower mintage, because if you go back to 2011, they were over 1 million. The year before that, they were over 1 million. The year before that, they were over 1 million. So 2012 was a low mintage set. The value is much higher. I have this proof set. I have it in my collection. I'm not cutting that one out because of its value. Now, you'll notice the silver set. Where's it at? The silver, 14-piece silver set. It was also a low mintage, and it has a high value. I have a 2012 S in its box, but you'll notice I have the slots filled because I ran across somebody didn't know what they had on a 2012 silver proof set, and it was underpriced. I bought it, and I was able to crack one out for my set. But I do have the 2012 proof, and I have the 2012 silver proof set in the box, uncracked. I have those for that specific reason. I thought about, because I got this on a pretty reasonable price, and these are kind of pricey, but this was the 69 decam. I thought about cutting this out, or cracking it out of this and putting it in my album, but it's more valuable the way it is right now, so I'm going to leave it. If I ever sell this collection, of course I'll have to sell it with the quarter album and the nickel, dime, and Lincoln cent album, but I have the proof set with that coin in it. Well, technically I could sell this album and say, okay, look, I got it graded that fits that spot. That's the only spot. So just throwing that out there to some people who are against, like Fish, who's against cutting these out. Once all the good stuff, once all the deep cameos, and full bell lines get rounded up and cut out, or in general, either one, the real high grade coins get pulled out, the high 68, 69s, and 70s. Once they get pulled out of these sets are, over time, these sets will never, there'll come a point where it's useless to search these because they will have all been, or the vast majority, when you get to 90%, 95% of these being searched, it's almost not worth it to search them anymore. Same with these. Once people go through and pull out the good coins, whatever's left is just not going to have, okay, yeah, you got the set, but it's got nothing high grade in it, so nobody's really going to want this because they're going to be chasing the ones that are high grade in this piece of plastic right here. So anyways, that's my thoughts on it. Thought I'd just throw that out there as to why I don't mind cutting out these coins to put them in my album collection, because I know there's so many of these. There's so many of these, 4 million of them. They're not going to have, they're not rare by any means. But over time, I said, everything good is going to be pulled out of these sets, and what's going to be left over is the stuff nobody wants. So that's my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts down below. I'll see you in another video.